Long story, but the short version is my wife of 11 years plus 3 more dating suddenly changed about a year ago. She started being very mean, berating and talking down to me. I chalked it up to the stress of our life with 3 kids, 9, 6 and 3, the oldest with special needs/disabilities, which complicates everything in our life. She started going out to more work happy hours and then out with friends from work more and more, and it turned into overnight stays on occasion. For 3 overnight stays she would actually tell me she was going with a girlfriend for a girls' night. One of these nights was a hiking trip, supposedly with her girlfriend from work. That I discovered pictures a month later that she was actually with a male coworker. She's telling me it was actually a group of friends and it was nothing. She didn't tell me because she thought I'd be mad that there were guys in the group. But through some snooping I'm not actually proud of, I've discovered so much evidence. She stayed alone in a romantic king bed suite with a guy. There are also multiple other occasions where she lied to me about where she's at and who she was with. Basically, she's been having an affair the entire pandemic. So I call her out on this, tell her I can look past it and move on as long as we can go back to our old selves. It snapped her out of a lot and she's actually being nice to me again when I let her. But I just can't handle the fact that she is still denying the affair and blame shifts everything back on me. I could maybe handle that, but also she still wants to maintain a relationship with her coworker with whom she secretly/deceptively lied to me about and stayed in a hotel together at least once, possibly 2 or 3 other times. I probably don't want to know any details about it from her and I could move on if I felt like I could trust her, but that is so shattered. Now she doesn't trust me because I discovered all this by snooping. We are now stuck in this weird standoff. We both want to work it out for the sake of our kids, and at least for me, I do want her. But she adamantly denies what happened was an affair and sees little wrong with it and doesn't want me to keep her from her friends. I'm seeing a counselor and now, so is she. We tried a joint session with a marriage counselor and it was a disaster because she again refused to admit the affair, downplayed and gaslight the counselor just like she does to me, and the counselor bought right into it. My wife is very smart and good at this. She reconciles disputes for the government for a living so she can be very convincing. But I know it's just a cover. She seems more worried about losing her career. Since this is a coworker, her career could be ruined if she admits this, and if we split up, people found out. She does still love me and wants to be together, but she seems to want me for her domestic life but wants to fulfill other needs with someone else. She's not going to cut ties with her after-hours work crew, which includes the guy. She chilled out on her happy hours with this crew for a few weeks and I thought things were going well. However, her description of how things have been going is that I must be happy to have her trapped in a box or on house arrest. So I know if she feels that way, that's not going to work long term. We've gone back to fighting. I know what happened has happened and I can't change that. But I feel like I could let go of the past if she could do 2 things. Stop denying and open up about what he opened and why. I don't need details, just a bit of honesty so I know I'm not crazy and this is all in my head. It's not, by the way. I have enough evidence to fill 10 more posts. She needs to cut off her relationship with this person except for what is absolutely necessary for her to do her job. That part is complicated because there is so much of her work life that would involve this guy. I reached a point where I was starting to plan a surprise trip away for a few days. Maybe if I left her to take care of all 3 kids by herself for a few days it might snap her back into reality. She beat me to the punch and informed me she's going away for a whole week and leaving me with the kids. She says she's going to focus on working with her counselor while she's gone and I support her in that. But it's killing me because she's not going to tell me where she's going. With our shattered trust, this is going to kill me. I've had trouble sleeping since I discovered all this and I'm constantly flip-flopping. One day I'll be all for just sticking it out and moving on. The next day, I'll realize she's still texting, calling and confiding at this guy still, and it makes me frustrated and angry. I'm so lost and sad over all this and I worry about what life would look like divorced. We are both good parents and love our kids, so I'm going to be seeing her constantly, even if we split up. Frustrated? Any advice out there? Comment 1. Please stop being a doormat. You aren't in reconciliation because she refuses to tell the truth. Marriage counseling is going to be a waste of time and money. Your marriage isn't broken, she is. You want to get her to pull her head out of her ass? See an attorney and file for divorce. You don't have to go through with it, but start the process. Also, start doing the 180. Don't engage her at all unless it's about kids. Separate your finances to protect yourself. Also, do you really believe she is going away for a week by herself? Cheaters lie, and they lie a lot. You need to be willing to lose your marriage in order to save it. Right now she has faced 0 consequences, so she is out doing her thing. Time to get serious. Comment 2. We are separated for the week. She says she needs a week without me interrogating and stalking her. I told her that if this week is about going to be with her AP, then I have papers ready for her, which I showed her, partially filled out and ready. She alluded to that she's going to be with her best friend who happens to have just filed for divorce herself. I'm fine with this because it's nice to have her out of my face for right now. She wants a trial separation when she gets back. She'll take the kids on Monday all day and be responsible for all of their homeschool and activities, and I'll do the same two's free while she works 410s. Then each of us trade off weekends with the kids while the other is free to do whatever. I'm suspect of this tact and told her I don't want that. It's either work on it or fill out the papers. The reason I'm such a spineless wiener about all this is I grew up in a complicated divorce-ridden mixed family. I saw what it did to me and all of my siblings. Ranging from teenage alcoholism and arson, to just general insecurities and pain. None of us have healthy relationships as adults. I don't want that for my kids. The divorce option is there and will always be there. So I'll see what a week away does. The papers are on the ready, but I'm day by day. Comment 3. Terrible story. Take care of yourself and commence divorce proceedings immediately. Going out of town for a week by herself at this stage is ridiculous. Not telling you where she is going is downright cruel. She obviously doesn't give 2 cents about your feelings. She does not love you as a husband. No one can tell you what your life will be divorced, but I can tell you from experience that your life will be one giant shit show if you stay. It sounds like you might be a stay-at-home husband. That should end. You must take care of yourself financially from this point forward. Don't rely on alimony or child support. That will run out and you will be left simply as a victim. It can be a very cruel world, but you are now faced with an unavoidable challenge. Take control of your life. You owe it to yourself and your children. You will have contact with your wife for the rest of your life, but try and keep that to a minimum as much as possible. You owe her nothing. Comment 4. Buddy discovered his wife's affair. He surprised her with a magnificent trip to Europe. 2-week cruise across the Atlantic, followed by tours through Italy, Greece, and France. She was all packed and ready, waiting for him to return from the few things he had to do at the office. So when the knock came, she figured he did not have his key. She opens the door and is served. First the legal filing, and then a little note in her husband's hand. Hi, as you are reading this, I am on an airplane. There will be no vacation. Instead, you will be hiring a lawyer, finding another place to live, and getting together all of your financial information. I am divorcing you. I have left for a month to clear my head. I am not going to the places we planned. I am not in Europe. I do not want you knowing where I am. How dare you do this to us, to me? We are over. P.S. One of your girlfriends let me in on your affair. Your boyfriend is being dealt with at this moment. You will have to do an awful lot of covering, as everyone we know has been advised. She had a quiet meltdown, then began calling friends and relatives. She discovered that her STBX had really done the job. Her boss called and asked why there was a USB in his mail with dirty movies of her. He was complete. In 4 weeks, he returned. She was nowhere to be found. She abandoned the house, and her car. There was a few thousand missing from the accounts. Her credit cards were on the dresser. She left a note to apologize and said that she would be in touch in a few months. Comment 5. I printed off most of the papers this morning. Good on your buddy for pulling that off so perfectly. I'm planning my own how and when right now. Our house is huge and has a private suite that we rent out. It opens up at the end of the month, and I'm thinking about moving all her shit in there some night when she's out and changing the locks on our main house. I'll just leave the papers for her on that door. That's one idea. I'm formulating a few more. We'll keep this thread posted. Comment 6. What you want of her is such a reasonable request, but she won't admit it because it means admitting she was doing something wrong. Yay, no one goes and stays with a guy in a hotel secretly on 3 different occasions just as friends. She is taking you for a joke right now. I think even though it's not what you want, you are better off going no contact for a month just to see if she pulls her head in and actually cares. Then make your decision on the marriage. But either way, if you stay as you are now, you will just continue to be played. Don't be so easily forgiving. She will take full advantage of it, and it looks like she already has been. I'm sorry. Comment 7. It's disappointing it works that way. And good, you should have it for yourself. Plan to make it work, but also plan harder to have an out. Just make sure she feels when she has her shawl of security taken out under her feet. That's the only thing that will shock her for a moment. Happy you were able to type through this. If I were you, I'd be a mess. Comment 8. So what she's doing is giving you the appearance of trying to work it out, but she has no intention of ending the affair, or being honest with you about it. She is pretending like you should be able to trust her, but she knows you shouldn't. She's trying to guilt you into not snooping, but only because she doesn't have to work harder at hiding it. You are her safety net, so in that respect, sure, she doesn't want to lose you, but she's all done with the kind of marriage you want to have. Personally, I don't think you can fix this, but if you want to have any hope of reconciliation, you have to be willing to end it. If she knows you are willing to put up with her bullshit in order to save the marriage, she will continue to serve you plate after plate of bullshit. You have to make it clear that she lost your trust and has to earn it back. It is no longer your default position. If she's not willing to do that, it's over. You know she's lied to you over and over, and only confessed once caught, and only to what she knew you could prove. It's time to talk to a lawyer and come up with a plan, even if you're not prepared to implement it yet. Comment 9. Oh mate, you or me all over. I pretty much did the same as you. My wife kept cheating and I kept forgiving her because I loved her so much and wanted to keep the family together. My wife initially denied it all too, and made it out that I was the mad one. Look, she's cheated on you. One-offs can happen, but she has done this to you multiple times, and then makes out you to be in the wrong. If she loved you then, A, she wouldn't have cheated on you and, B, she wouldn't lie to you. She is doing both. You don't do this to people you love. She doesn't care about your feelings, does she? Does this sound like she loves and wants you? Comment 10. If I were you, I'd play dumb, take your portion of the finances into private accounts, talk to a lawyer, talk to this other dude's partner if he has one, inform your family of the matter, and be prepared to divorce. Then when everything is in place, I'd report the affair to our with evidence, file for divorce, and basically kick her to the curb until she moves in with her lover. You keep your house and your kids. You keep your car. You keep your finances so she doesn't use them on this other guy. Your goal should be security for you and the kids, kick her ass to the curb, ruin her career by reporting to our, ruin the other guy's relationship and career, and divorce. Try to do everything as a surprise, don't say anything beforehand. Thanks you for watching. Everyday new movies. See you soon.